Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a fantastic Wednesday. It is Wednesday, February 13th, 2019. Not quite Friday. We got close to this month. Maybe we'll get a Friday the 13th soon. But I hope you're all taking care. I hope you all have a great day. Hopefully it's staying warm because it is, even here in Texas, it's been a little bit below average on the weather. So, hey, we're going to, though, jump into cord cutting, talk about all the biggest stories in the world of cord cutting, answer your cord cutting related questions, hopefully help you get the most from your cord cutting experience. Now, if you're watching this on repeat, because we do post these videos on YouTube after we're done with the Q&A, every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 90% of the time, we're right here on YouTube answering your cord cutting related questions for about an hour. So feel free to jump in here, post your questions, post your comments. We'll love to chat with you. Let's talk about cord cutting in general. Let's answer your questions. Got a question about cord cutters news? I'll love to chat with you. So post on over here or jump on over to youtube.com/cordcuttersnews and let's chat. Hello, Chris. First person here. Hello, Chris. Good to see you here. All right, let me quickly share this on Facebook. Hey, if you haven't noticed, we're posting on Facebook and Instagram now, kind of daily little like 1-minute videos, just kind of like a 1-minute synopsis of all the biggest stories in cord cutting of that day. My hope here is it kind of piques your interest, you know, helps you learn something you may not notice on the site. And then, of course, we'll have full details over at cordcuttersnews.com. Tons and tons of news. One of the most interesting things I think happened today was that Dish reported their third quarter earning numbers. Now, one of the things we had heard from some time was, oh, DirecTV now lost subscribers, Dish probably will. And while the growth did slow, they only added 50,000 people. They now have 2.4 million subscribers. Now, that's a pretty big number. It's by far makes them the largest live TV streaming service. There's a lot of predictions that DirecTV now would become the largest live TV streaming service, and that didn't happen. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. So we'll have to keep a close eye on that. I would say for the foreseeable future, Sling TV is probably safe on being the largest. Be interesting because there are a lot of others like YouTube TV, Hulu, etc. growing quickly, faster than Sling TV is. So will they catch up? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Did I catch the AAF? Yes, I did. I enjoyed it. I thought it was some very good football. It streamed perfectly. And then I watched the first game on my antenna, and then I streamed it online for the other ones. And was very, very happy with it. So hopefully, here's the AAF hanging around for a while. Christopher, Zeus, Goosey, Bobby, Joe, Sean, Jimmy, Willie, Victor, NYC, Tom again, Colin, Bobby. It's great to see so many people here. So many regular faces. So thanks for joining us. All right, let's dive into the questions. NYC, first time watching the Q&A and Chromecast. I generally watch it on my Roku streaming stick. Yeah, any difference you've noticed between using the Chromecast and the Roku streaming stick? Let me know what they're at NYC. How's your day going, Luke? Pretty good. Did discover a leak in the brand new house. Well, brand new to us, we bought. So, yeah, there's a leak in the roof. It's a small one. Unfortunately, it looks like it's been there a while. That kind of stinks. Other than that, my day is great. Nothing like buying a house, getting a home inspection, doing everything, and then after you move in, you discover a leak in the roof. You know, bought homes before, it just kind of happens sometimes. Has my new desk arrived yet? No, and I'm kind of frustrated, but I really want that desk, and they promised the back order will be done soon. Will Netflix do live TV? Ralph, no. They pretty much were pretty straightforward in saying that Netflix does not want to do live TV. Corey says, been there, done that, new construction. Hello from Iowa, Richard. Good to see you there. Hello from Texas. When do you think DirecTV Now will be a TV provider for CBS All Access? I wouldn't hold your breath. AT&T just does not seem like they're putting a lot of effort into DirecTV Now. Let's just be honest with it. They just aren't putting a lot of effort into it. Colin says, Luke, I like the short videos you are doing using Facebook Stories. Yeah, we post those on Facebook Stories and on Instagram, so you can follow us. Look for Cord Cutters News on Facebook or Cord Cutters News on Instagram. These quick sub 1 minute videos, just what's the biggest news stories happening in the world of cord cutting right now. Carl says PlayStation View will we'll get when... Hey, Carl, I don't think I understand the question. Re-ask it. Give me a little bit more context. Error occurred. Let's refresh the stream. My live stream says an error occurred. Please try again. Seems like I'm still live. Luke, I have Frontier Internet for $150 down. I'm paying $75. Is there a way I can lower it? Or $100? You can do some shopping around. Of course, see there's a DSL option. I always say, hey, every few years I switch back and forth between DSL and cable to get the best deal. I'm kind of excited because AT&T is running fiber in this neighborhood, so maybe I'll get fiber as an option from AT&T. But as far as ways to save money there, so of course you can switch. Two, if all you're doing is Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, hundreds is great, but maybe if they have a 75 plan, get a little bit cheaper. Check that out. See if they offer a slightly slower plan to save some money on that deal. But no, I think 75 for now is great. When 5G comes, hopefully that presses their price down. Do you think Philo will add more options? Well, they've slowly been adding stuff. So Core Cars News broke the news last weekend that Philo is testing the ability to integrate Philo into channels on Android TV devices and really any device that supports Google's channels. And then past that, they did recently add support for Fire TV's live guide and better integration with Fire TV. So Philo is slowly adding stuff. The team there is very aggressive. They did say they're focusing right now on the Android app. So fingers crossed that happens there. Anywhere on the DirecTV beta box? I have one. It's okay. Doesn't really seem all that focused on DirecTV Now customers. It seems to be more about DirecTV customers. So we'll have to wait and see. Do I have a preferred streaming service? Not really. It really depends on what you use. I use Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, all that in a home. I have every live TV streaming service. I think they all have their pluses and minuses. I think it depends on what you want as a subscriber. Do they have the channel you want? Do they have the feature you want? So if they find the service that offers the channels you want and the service that offers the features you want, you'd be just fine. Which TV streaming service do I recommend? I basically just answered that. Just one more point on this. No one service is perfect for everybody. I may be a Big Ten fan, so Sling may not be a good option. You may be a Pac-12 fan, so Sling is the best option for you. I don't know if it really is the best, but just say it. So it really depends on what you want, which channels you want, what features you want. I have them all, and I think they're all equally good, if that makes sense. They all have issues. They're all pretty good. So I would get whatever works best for you. When is Hulu's new UI coming out for the Apple TV and Roku? They say sometime this year, probably in the late spring. I wouldn't be surprised. Will DirecTV Now be rolled out to older 2015 Samsung TVs? Probably not. This problem with smart TVs is older TVs usually don't get the support of newer ones. Best streaming cloud DVR? Again, it depends on what you want. Some people love the ability to say, hey, I want to DVR everything. And I only want it for a few days. So like PlayStation View, or even YouTube TV, which allows you to just DVR, and then at a set period, it just deletes it, right? So that may be great for you. Other people I know say, hey, Luke, I like DVRing stuff and keeping it forever. So for those kind of people, like Sync TV may be a great option. Yeah, the DVR is limited, but you have the ability to go and DVR something and keep it. So really depends on what you want. Jamie, yes, there is a graph that does a side-by-side breakdown, and actually the one I have linked in the bottom of the site is from September. So let me quickly update this, but in the show notes, and I'll put it in the comments real quick, I do have an update with every live TV streaming service and every what devices they support, all that I updated just back in February. So it's called Live TV Guide. And if you click on that down below, there we go. I just update it in a second. I'll update in the show notes, but I'll put it in the comments too. So there I have a side-by-side chart. Now I know there's services that will try to tell you what they think is the best service for you. I would rather go the route and say, hey, I'm going to give you all the information and let you pick what's best for you. Willie Bruce, or Willie Bounce, I hope I said that right. Hey, thank you for becoming a member of the YouTube channel and supporting us. Check back in about a week for the private member-only Q&A. Luke, when will Tableau be coming out with the commercial skipping feature? They say in the first half of 2019. So in the next few months, probably, next 5 or so months. Do you think PlayStation View will ever get WGN channels like WGN America or WGN Local? Very likely. So WGN is in the process of being sold. Once that deal to sell WGN is done, I would suspect that that would be when it would start coming out to live TV streaming services. WGN has been for sale for a couple of years now, and the sales keep falling apart on them. So hopefully this time it sticks. Do you have to donate to get Locast? No, but they have started to really pester people for donations. So if you don't want to get pestered for donations, $5 gets you it. If you're willing to be pestered every now and then for donation, I would say don't worry. Don't worry about the donations. Will YouTube TV add MLB extra innings? I hope so, but as of today, they have not. Have you heard of Spectrum TV streaming? You're supposed to get 25 cable channels plus locals on up to 7 devices. Yes, they have a couple. They got that version there. They also have a Spectrum TV Choice streaming service where you get your locals, you get a bunch of music channels no one cares about, and you get 10 cable channels from a list. So you get to pick 10 channels you want from that list for like $21, and then add some more there. So keep that in mind. Hello, Jess. I'm glad you are also using the Cord Cutters News mug. Appreciate it. And it's good to have you here. Have you noticed any issue with volume changes on channel between commercials and programming? Yes. And I thought for a while, like, oh man, is this the streaming services do this? Oh, the show's quiet, the commercials are really loud. And then about a month ago, I stayed in a hotel for a while with my family, and I actually watched TV. Usually when I go to a hotel, I plug in the Roku stick, watch it there. But I was actually watching cable in a hotel. And I was like, no, cable is also jacking up the volume for commercials, and the volume between commercials and the show are way off. So no, it's not your streaming service, it's the channel. And it doesn't matter if you're paying for satellite, cable, or streaming, you're going to have the same issue there, unfortunately. Do you know anything about the Chicago Cubs' new network will be like? Yeah, so the Chicago Cubs announced that they've partnered with Sinclair. They're going to launch in 2020, I believe it is, their own regional sports network focused pretty much exclusively on the Chicago Cubs. I'm sure Sinclair would love to bring in other sports groups and so forth in the Chicago market for that. The issue is what streaming services will have it. We don't know. They don't even have an announced cable partner yet. So Sinclair, I'm assuming what means with it being Sinclair, it may still be over the air. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. There's even rumors that it may have a standalone streaming aspect to it. Again, though, we're going to have to wait and see what happens here because the Cubs have not announced the details there. Bobby says the Bears will be on it too. I don't believe any Bears games will be on it. Maybe a preseason game. But from my understanding, they may be doing some specials on other sports too. But for now, the only games, at least regular season airing, will be the Cubs. Hey, Jen, a lot of people have been asking today, what's the best streaming service? I'll answer this one more time really quick. There really isn't a best streaming service for all of them out there. It really depends on what you want. Because what I want is probably different than what you want. So I recommend in the show notes down below, right below our Cord Cutting 101 guide, we have a live TV guide that looks at like YouTube TV versus Philo versus DirecTV Now, PlayStation View, Sling, Hulu, Fubo, etc. And it breaks them all down. But I would recommend you check in the show notes, click on that link, look for the channels you want, make an informed decision, pick which one you want for you. Alt Card Collector, welcome. I understand you missed a couple weeks. It's been kind of a hectic couple weeks. Next week is going to be, I don't know. I may have to do this from my office back at the office because people are going to be on my roof replacing a roof next week or at least fixing a leak in it. What do I think of services like Suppose? My only thing about any service that tries to say, we're going to tell you what's the best, like I just said, may not always be the best. I recommend you do your own research. Try to find, double check all of them. I'm not familiar with how accurate it is or how up to date it is, but always do your own research on top of any website who promises like, enter your zip code and we'll tell you the best antenna. Enter this and we'll tell you the best streaming service to get it. Because sometimes they're outdated, but the flip side of it is sometimes I don't think they give you all the options they should. That's my personal opinion. That's why I would rather just, hey, here's all the services, here's all the channels, you make a decision. That's my personal thing, because only you know what you want is my main thing. If I'm looking for quality and consistency, which streaming service is best? I had a lot of issues with DirecTV Now with it freezing. I've heard people tell me that DirecTV Now is the best streaming service. I've heard people tell me that pretty much every streaming service is the best. So my recommendation would be, if you're unhappy with DirecTV Now, fully understand that, take advantage of the other services to try out their free trials and see if you find one that's right for you, and give that a try. Do you know when Locast will be available in more areas? Yes, Locast is that free streaming service that right now is in markets like Chicago and DC and Dallas and others, where you can stream your locals for free. They say they're rolling out to more cities. They say the cost to roll out to new cities between $150,000 and $250,000. Most of that is in real estate, finding a location to physically set up their antenna, their servers, all that kind of stuff. So they say what they're doing right now is they're taking donations. And basically, whoever town raises the most money, where each dollar counts as 1 point towards a vote for that city. So if you want to go to locast.org, you want to get it to your city, make them a donation, and they'll use that to help determine where to go. So they're raising money, and they're also getting interest of like, hey, how many people in each market are really seriously interested about that? Is there an app that incorporates all subscriptions into one feed? No, it does not. There's no app that does that. Now, there are people trying to do that. Amazon was kind of first with their Amazon channel, so you could manage multiple subscriptions like HBO Now and CBS All Access all in one spot. But all the content's in a different spot, but it allows you to have one login, one password, and all the content right there. Roku's trying that. Sling is trying that. Other people are trying it. But is there one that has everything? Not at this time. We are kind of moving in that direction a little bit. So it is kind of interesting to see us go that way. Will YouTube TV be adding more channels? Yeah, very likely they are going to add more channels. When? I don't know. Will they be adding more features? Yeah, probably. When? They haven't said. They did announce that like this week. They did post they posted that said, we are aware of these known glitches on like Xbox, Apple TV, and I think it was Android TV, and that they're working on those. When new stuff will come out, I don't know. My new Roku Streaming Stick Plus has been freezing a lot. That's very interesting. Are you running any unofficial channels? When people talk about a Roku freezing a lot, it typically happens when they're using like a unofficial sideloaded or private channel, whatever they call them. And that seems to be the big problem. There is a known issue with YouTube TV and Roku's, but I think that's been mostly fixed now. But yeah, if you're having a lot of problems, I would go and contact Roku. They have great customer service. They do a really great job of helping out people with issues. So I would contact them. What indoor antenna do you recommend? I don't have one particular antenna I recommend, but I do have some brands. Mohu, Antennas Direct, RCA, Winegard. I know a lot of people like them. I am blanking out one. There's another one out there. A lot of them are very good. I would recommend always not buy the cheapest antenna. Don't buy the most expensive antenna. Do your research like antennaweb.org to see what's available before you do it. Carl says, I love, will PlayStation View be adding Fuse? And why did they get rid of MGM HD? Xfinity did the same thing. Why was that? It seems like MGM HD is slowly vanishing from all TV providers. I don't know if that means it's shutting down. Wouldn't surprise me. But remember a year ago, PlayStation View announced that they were going to drop MGM HD, which wasn't that the HD channel or something like that. I can't remember what it was before. So then they said, oh, never mind, we're going to keep it for another year. And now they got rid of it. They kind of got rid of it without a lot of notice. It just kind of, poof, it was gone. So I'm not really sure why that happened, to be honest with you. Clearstream antennas are antenna direct antennas, if I remember right. Yes, Clearstream antennas are antenna direct branded, or are made by Antenna Direct. Do you think Hulu will update their Android TV app since most cable companies are going towards streaming boxes? Well, one of the things, so Hulu is on Android TV devices with their on-demand service. Now, they don't have their live TV service. Adding live TV because cable companies are going to it doesn't make a lot of sense to them, because if you're a cable subscriber and using cable box to access Android TV apps, you probably don't care about the Hulu Live TV streaming service. The previous head of Hulu's app development last year basically came out and said, hey, Android TV's user base is so small, it just doesn't make sense for us to put effort into it. So they didn't. They focus on other areas. Now there's a new head. He came from TiVo, I believe, remember right? And he's redeveloping the app, adding in some different looks and different user interfaces to it. So maybe Android TV will now be a part of it. We'll have to wait and see what happens. NYC says sometimes when one provider is dropping channels, it causes a domino effect. When DirecTV dropped G4, that caused multiple providers to drop the channel, and eventually G4 went under. Yeah, I actually enjoyed G4. I love Tech TV. And for the early days of the G4 Tech TV days, I kind of enjoyed some of the content there. I kind of enjoyed the mixed programming. But you are right. I think it was a kind of a downfall there. And I've actually talked to some people who were behind the G4 channel, and they kind of said, hey, no one was watching. You know, people complained when they started putting things like Cops on and Cheaters, but they said, well, people watched Cops and Cheaters at a far higher rate than XPlay, and other traditional G4 channels. So he said it just kind of came to the point that it wasn't feasible. There wasn't enough people watching it. And maybe that was the target demographic. Gamers weren't watching TV. They were streaming it on YouTube and other devices. I don't think Twitch was around at that point. But yeah, I remember when I moved to Missouri, I switched over to DirecTV, and yeah, it was gone. And G4 was owned by Comcast, and even Comcast took it from the basic package and put it in the high premium ones. So kind of one of those things. I always say, hey, if you love something, support it. Do you know any issues, anything about Spectrum and WGN having issues? No, but I'll look into it. How is 5G relevant to cord cutting? So 5G, the home version, basically is going to compete with your Comcast, your Spectrums, your DSLs, your AT&Ts, and CenturyLink. And as the CEO, president, whatever his role is, over at T-Mobile said today, T-Mobile wants to offer cheap, affordable, fast, high-speed broadband home internet, where you, instead of having a wire go to your home and connect it, you use the 5G signal to go to a base station. That base station creates Wi-Fi in your home. Now, the reason why it's so important to cord cutting is competition. The reason why I'm so excited about 5G, and pretty much everybody I've talked to in the industry is very, very excited about 5G, is the fact that it allows it. So instead of having 2, maybe 3, if you're extremely lucky, internet providers, soon you may have 5, 6, 7 home internet providers all competing. And when competition enters the market, traditionally prices go down, speeds go up. Joe says, I love G4 Tech TV. It's a shame they crashed. Love the screensavers. I love the screensavers too. And yeah, what was it? Kevin and Alex. I forget their names, but yeah, that was pretty good. Leah Laporte, Patrick Noren, always classics. Luke, what do you think of the AT&T 5G labeling issues? Yeah, so Sprint is suing AT&T, saying AT&T's mobile 5GE, I think they're calling it, is really just 4G with a 5G name flapped onto it. I thought it was really funny. T-Mobile, it's funny, it's T-Mobile. They're always having fun with this kind of stuff. They had this little Twitter, Facebook video, or I think it was posted on both, where they said, oh, you can just rename it. And they said, be back. And they took a little sticky note, and then over the 4G icon on the phone, they put 9G on it. They're like, done, we have 9G now. We renamed 4G to 9G. So I always find that funny. Our card collector, you are right. G4 TV, I think .com was it. It's really funny because the website it was still there for a long time, but I think it now, G4TV.com now goes to the Sci-Fi Network, which is also owned by Comcast. But if you type in G4.TV, it goes to the Esquire channel. So I think they finally eliminated the website recently. But for years and years and years after it went dead, most of the links didn't work. It was really random, but it was still there. Hey, Luke, any idea why the Philo box works on some Android boxes, not others? I'm assuming you mean the Philo Android TV app. It could be something that their device is not approved. I don't know. Philo does not have an Android app. They say soon they will. Do you need to have a subscription to your cable to get your Apple TV app to work. No, you can, if you want to access cable networks, you can always get things like Sling TV, PlayStation View, Hulu, etc. I just put a link there. You can check that out with all the different live TV streaming services out there. David, yes, Tech TV did become Twit. Always really highly recommend Twit if you love the Tech TV days. Leo Laporte is a great guy. I actually ran into some of the Twit people. I didn't get a chance to really talk to them at CES this year and last year, actually. It was great to see them at CES working hard. They really do good work over there. AT&T's site doesn't say, is there DSL self-install? No, I believe with DSL on their fiber, you'd still need a home install. Maybe they changed that recently. Don't call me, call and ask. Esquire channel, I don't know. I don't think it became Paramount, so Spike became Paramount. Esquire, I do believe the channel's gone, which is funny because, yeah, when you type in g4.tv, it now doesn't take you to Esquire TV. It just takes you to the Esquire magazine website, which I find slightly humorous somehow. I don't know. Once 5G comes into play, will we need to upgrade our routers? No, your Wi-Fi router can stay the same. You'll get a new modem. So you know how you get the modem, you can have a Wi-Fi, or it could be all in one. These new modems have Wi-Fi built into them, or you can plug in your existing Wi-Fi like I like to do. And then it creates its own Wi-Fi network there. So no, you won't need to upgrade your Wi-Fi. Like Verizon right now is giving away free modems with Wi-Fi included if you sign for 5G. What's the difference between the Roku and the Apple TV? They're effectively the same concept. They both take apps like Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon, stream it on your TV. Now, there are some ones out there where it's like this app is not on that device or the other way around. A few years ago, I would said not get the Apple TV because they were very limited in app support a few years ago. Now, they've come a long ways in just a couple years, and I would say, hey, Apple TV is not bad. Do be aware that there still is some lingering issues. For instance, you can't buy a movie or a TV show through the Amazon Video app on there. I don't believe there's Vudu at this time. Maybe they did get that. They've been rumored for a while. But just be aware that most of the major cord-cutting apps are on the Apple TV. Some are not. So just do your research. What services do I use? Are they on the Apple TV? Yes, no. Roku is still the leader with the most services out there. Some people like it, some people don't. I think that's the great thing about cord cutting. If you love the Apple, I mean, maybe buy everything in iTunes and definitely get Apple TV. Maybe you love Roku. Maybe you love Android TV. Maybe you like Fire TV. They'll all pretty much work for 99% of cord cutters. So get whichever one you like. Yeah, Apple TV just a couple years ago didn't have an app store. You had to basically have some type of super special relationship with Apple to get in. Colin says, Luke, have you ever talked with Tom Merritt about being a guest on his Cord Killer shows? I've actually been on the Cord Killer shows. So when Sling TV first announced, back when I was really new into the site, when I was just starting to do it, before I even started doing it full time, I was able to be one of the early beta testers for Sling TV. And when it was announced, I tweeted at them, said, hey, I have Sling TV already, before pretty much anyone in the news. And I was able to appear on their show and chat with them. So it was a great experience. I had a lot of fun. Tom Merritt's a great guy. He does really great work. I remember him when he was back at CNET with his podcast. Follow him over to Twit, and now he's doing the Daily Tech Show. Great guy. Love to be on the Cord Killers again. So yeah. Can you get bare internet from Comcast without a lot of wrangling? Yes. You just have to be able to say no to any time they try to call you. Funny story real quick. And let me know if you've ever done this. So I got, when we moved, I got Spectrum Internet here. It was a good deal, and it was the fastest option. I wanted the fast up speed for live ones like this. So I get the customary call. Hello, this is Spectrum. We just want to make sure everything is good with your internet. I see you had internet installed. Are you happy? Oh, yeah, everything's great. Good, good, good. You know, the phone agent says, oh, by the way, how would you like to save some money on TV? How are you watching TV? And, you know, it's that instant sale pitch. Like, get our TV. We'll save you even more money on the internet. I got so sick of it. I said, oh, we don't watch TV. She goes, oh, I mean, like, you don't have cable? I said, no, we don't watch TV. She goes, well, how are you watching TV shows? And at this point, I was like, I just want to be done with this conversation. So let me know if you've ever done this. I said, oh, no, we don't believe in TV. I don't own a TV. No, there's nothing good on TV, so we got rid of our TVs. And the poor lady on the other end of the phone, clearly reading a script, didn't know what to say to that. She was like, What? You don't own a TV? No, I told her, no, I don't own a TV. But thank you for calling. Have a good day. Has anyone ever done that? Has anyone ever become so frustrated with those people and you just want to get off the phone, but you don't want to be rude? It's not, I don't want to hang up on them because I just feel like it's a little rude. I just want to calmly say, hey, have a good day. Goodbye. So I just said, I don't have TV. Has anyone ever done that? Am I the only one? Let me know. Have you ever had that when they like try to ambush you at Walmart? I always want to be like, oh no, I don't have TV. I actually own a news organization that promotes your competitors. I don't know. Anybody ever have that? All right. Are there any, or Jamie says, are there any considerations as to why channels are featured on some but not all streaming channels? Is it cost, competition? It's a little bit of all the above. So there is a cost feature. So why are some channels on some streaming services and not the other? Well, when you want to say, when you want to pay a really low price, at some point they have to cut some channels. And DirecTV now has hinted that they intend to kind of slash out what they call unpopular channels. And that's what a lot of services out there have done. It's probably all the above. And there is a little bit of wrangling a little bit. You know, like football. Hey, if you want ESPN, you have to carry all these other Disney channels. So, yeah. Hey, real quick, I'll take a drink. We're going to play a 30-second ad because that helps pay the bills. And that's what we got to do nowadays. So, hey, hang in here for 30 quick seconds and we'll be right back to chat more. And Jim, I'll get your question next. But hey, if you're here, don't forget this ad. We have an app now for iOS and Android. Link in the show notes. It's also for the Amazon Fire tablets and so forth. Gives you access to all of our stories, everything over there, so check that out. All right, a few quick seconds, and then we'll jump right back in the question as people come back. I know some people see these commercials, some don't. I have no idea why YouTube shows them to some of the others. But hey, welcome back to everybody who saw the commercials. Again, hey, don't forget we have an app now. iOS, Android, Amazon Fire devices, 100% free. Or if you want to give us a donation, we'll take the ads off. Jim says, what is a good basic speed for streaming? I recommend at least 20, 25 down. Each Netflix stream, HD Netflix stream needs 5 down. So if you think about 20 down, will give you 4 HD Netflix streams at once. Really, if all you're doing is streaming Netflix to Amazon, once you get over 100 down, you're really not going to see a huge return on your benefit. Gigabyte's great. I have Gigabyte. I have it mostly because I want the up speed to do shows like this. Excuse me, I apologize. But the big problem with it is, you're paying for a lot of internet speed you're not going to be using if all you're doing is Netflix to Amazon. All right. I think I missed a question. Let me scroll up. Do you think 5G Wi-Fi will cost more? No, because just like with your cable, the Wi-Fi is built into your router. You can always buy your own Wi-Fi router and plug it into theirs like I do. Will Roku Ultra ever allow a DVR recording through USB? Probably not. So Roku, the creator of the Roku, the president of Roku, is actually the guy who invented the DVR, Anthony Wood. Really nice guy if you ever get a chance to meet him. Very nice. But for some reason, Roku just has not seemed interested in that. So maybe someday. Will the Roku Ultra ever... Oh, I already answered it. Will NHL never be coming to other streaming services? Very possible, but as of today, it's not. Seems like NHL, NBA, and others have been really trying to focus on building up their own streaming service, so hopefully they'll start allowing in-market streaming. Will it come out with a cord-cutting network? Like a TV network, a news network? I don't know. Maybe everybody seems to want a cord-cutting news Roku channel and so forth. Maybe someday. When will Fire Stick have Lowcast? They say that's the one they're working on right now, and then someday they'll backtrack and add Apple TV. But yeah, Lowcast recently said the Fire TV is what they're focusing on right now. If a dish installs an indoor antenna for $99, how good will it be at receiving my local markets from 60 miles away? Really depends on where you live. If you're 60 miles from your transmitters, I would definitely think of a roof antenna, attic antenna as your first one. What's the bandwidth of 5G? Just like it is with DSL. 300 to a gigabyte down is what they're saying it will average. heard a rumor that that here in Chicago that Sinclair was buying out WGN. Sinclair was buying WGN, but that deal fell apart due to failure to get approval of regulatories. Tribune, I believe, is currently trying to buy it, and again, they're facing issues. WGN's been for sale for a while. I think several people tried to buy it, and they all seem to fall apart. So hopefully, Tribune will work this time. Look, as NVIDIA announced an update to the NVIDIA Shield box. Not that I heard of. They had an update not that long ago we posted about, but nothing new in the last week or so. Look, will the NFL expand the market for NFL Sunday Ticket this year? Yeah, so there is a streaming version in select markets. As of this moment, it has not started to roll out, but hopefully very soon it does. My goal, we're going to keep an eye on it. They have until the end of spring, sometime April, May, to make a decision. Do they want to stay with DirecTV, or do they want to end their deal with DirecTV and go streaming only? I hope they go streaming only. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. I don't believe Tribune is being bought by Nexter. Are they? I thought Nexter was buying. Aren't they? Oh yeah, Nexter is buying Tribune for a $4.1 billion deal. You are correct. I forgot all about that. The first story that pops up, Core Cars News story about it. So maybe I was thinking maybe it's not Tribune. Somebody's buying them. So there's so much mergers happening in over-the-air TV. People are paying attention to the fact that over-the-air TV is growing at a substantial rate, and they're doubling down on it. So we'll keep an eye on it, what happens there. Any news on MLB TV 2019 season changes? No, they did announce pricing. It looks pretty much the same. They've done that in the past where they announce pricing and then later announce changes. We'll have to wait until we get a little bit closer to spring baseball here in a couple weeks. Do I have a mesh network in your home? No, I used to. I used to have a Netgear one. Was very, very disappointed with it. I wasn't a big fan of how it kept pushing my Roku's from 5 gigahertz to 2.4 gigahertz. I ended up going with the Netgear Nighthawk. It was about the same amount of money, and it covers my entire home, and I have a lot more control over 5G and 2.4G, and I just thought it gave me more control, and I was not impressed with the Netgear version of it. Now, on the flip side, I did go with the Netgear Nighthawk. I do love Netgear, so don't take that as Netgear problems. With Ultraviolet shutting down, will Vudu or some other service be able to keep all digital movies? Yes, if you go to Ultraviolet's website, it will tell you how to link your subscription to other services, I believe, like Vudu, to transfer most of your movies and stuff over to Vudu. So when Ultraviolet shuts down, you will still have access to that content through like a service like Vudu. Cumulus, maybe that's what it is. Cumulus, David says, is interested in buying WGN from Nexstar. So there we go. Tribune owns Nexstar, and they were the one. Okay, Tribune. Let me back this story up because it's been a long day. So Tribune has owned WGN for a while. Sinclair was trying to buy Tribune. That deal fell apart, so went back. Now Nexstar is buying Tribune. All right, does that make sense? Tribune owns WGN. Sinclair tried to buy them. Deal fell apart. Now Nexstar is trying to buy them. Word is we'll have to see about regulatory approval. So keep an eye on that. Is the S Network on any free streaming programs? No, not free, but it is on multiple paid streaming services out there. All right. Hey, if I haven't answered your question, re-ask it. Sometimes they scroll by, but hey, so many new people. Do me a favor. If you are new here, hey, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. How did you find out about us? 2, hit that subscribe button because we do Q&As like this every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. We do weekly core card recaps every Saturday morning. We post them here on YouTube and on the site on Sunday. We also do a ton of other news and reviews and how-tos and tips and tricks all about the world of core crime with the goal of helping you get the most out of your streaming player and still watch the content but break free from the high cost of cable TV. So hit that subscribe button. I would really, really appreciate it. Luke, any news on MLB ending blackouts? No. So we did know that MLB was in talks with trying to get in-market streaming. As best we can tell, so far nothing has come from that. And if something comes of it, we'll let you know. But as of today, nothing has come from those talks. Will 3.0 over-the-air TV help with rural areas? Yeah, so in theory, 3.0 is supposed to give better signal transmission. So if you live right on the fringe of the current over-the-air TV standard with the new 3.0 starting to roll out next year, you should be able to get that out there. So fingers crossed. Have you heard of any new studios joining movies anywhere? No, not at this time, but if it happens, we'll let you know. Jim, Luke, thanks for all your hard work. Hey, no, thank you, Jim, for being a subscriber to our YouTube channel. Thank you for your support of CoreCarsNews.com. I just really appreciate it. Is 3.0 coming to Chicago anytime soon? We don't know what markets will have 3.0 first. It's going to be tested in markets like Phoenix and Dallas, hopefully very soon. Or hopefully very soon we'll find out what markets it's coming to, and then hopefully it'll hit places like Chicago soon. We're canceling cable next week, just internet. Thinking of getting Sling. Tracy, welcome to the cord cutting family. I think you're going to have a lot of fun in it. Do your research, take advantage of the free trials, and just know it took me a couple weeks before I went, okay, now I know where all my shows, where all the TV program I want is when I switch from cord cutting. I often call it like switching from Android to iPhone or iPhone to Android. Hey, they both have cameras. They both have the ability to call. They can both text. They can both do pretty much everything the other device can do. The difference is it just looks different. The user interface is different. The chat boxes are different. The emojis are a little different. But in the end, they all do the same thing, right? And cord cutting and cable is kind of the same way. So don't be frustrated if you feel that, excuse me, don't be frustrated if you feel that it's not instantly the same as cable, because it will take a little while. So keep that in mind. Luke, what are your thoughts on Cheddar? I sometimes refer to the channel as CBS for millennials. Cheddar is a really great channel. They have a bunch of free content. They have a paid version. I've actually chatted with the guy behind it. Very nice guy. He's got a lot of experience. I think he's extraordinarily bright in what he's doing with Cheddar and Cheddar Sports and Cheddar Big News. And yeah, keep an eye on Cheddar. I think they are doing some really cool things over there. So keep that in mind. Luke, is there a need for a VPN when I'm streaming movies, programs like so forth? I don't know those two name programs. For legal streaming services, no. Even with a VPN, I can't guarantee that's going to protect you from getting copyright claims. Just keep that in mind. But is there a need for VPNs? Yeah, I wouldn't use public Wi-Fi without a VPN. Just in this day and age, it's too easy for them to try to steal your information. Mule driver, excuse me, Mark. Hey, thanks. I'm glad you like the Core Cars News app. Yeah, everybody, don't forget to check it. Has all of our latest stories, news, tips, all on there. Really, really appreciate your support of downloading the app. It really does help us. I'm paying $56 for CoreCon compared to my old DirecTV bill of $190. Yeah, it's amazing what you can save. Do your research. It really does pay off. Yeah, Joe says it took him a couple months to phase out cable by researching and signing up for trials when I still had cable. Yeah, when I became a cord cutter, we kind of tested everything out, ended up buying a Roku. This was over 5 years ago now. And it was before the Fire TV even launched. There was no Fire TV back then. But we went out there and we, at one point we said, hey, let's unplug the cable box for a month and try this streaming thing. Are we going to be able to do it? Within 2 weeks, we kind of realized, yeah, hey, okay, we found everything. We found all the shows we want to watch. We're good. So yeah, I would say it's a pretty good deal if you can cord cutting. Do your research. The people who are typically unhappy with cord cutting are people who didn't do their research before they did it, before they cut the cord and jumped into it. When you call cable, cancel, and then you go and try to figure things out, that's when you have problems. Howard says, I saw your YouTube a couple years ago. Your videos are very helpful. I'm glad they're helpful. Hopefully you won't hold those older videos against us. I think we've come a long ways. We bought a digital converter for cheap to start. Yeah, if your old TV isn't compatible with OTA digital, yeah, those digital converter boxes are really nice. Which service has the lowest latency? I think that kind of depends on what you're watching. Because I've done tests, and at some times of the day, one will be better than the other. I think they're all about the same, to be honest with you. How come Chicago was hit with a Chicago tax and no one else for PlayStation View? Because the city of Chicago passed a law taxing streaming services. It's not just on live TV services. It's on Spotify, Netflix, and all that. And it's Chicago, and they like to tax the living daylights out of you. It's just kind of what they do. Some states do. I think Pennsylvania does it too. I have a standard sales tax here. excuse me, of like it comes out to be like $1 where I live for a sales tax. Depends on where you live. Do they have, most places now have some type of sales tax, and other places now have a specific streaming tax on top of that. So keep that in mind. Thank you, Stan. All right. Is Air TV OTA DVR reliable? I hear it's still full bugs. I have the DVR here, Air TV DVR box right there. I got the, up in this corner, you can see the Air TV white player. There's the black one. That I think they're both great. The DVR seems to be great. They definitely have come a long way since they first announced it. Do you think Apple will come out with a streaming stick? It could, but there's been rumors that they've decided not to do that. Instead, they've just been partnering with TV manufacturers to offer a basically AirPlay support on it. There's a rumor out there, remember that Apple and Roku are in discussions to bring AirPlay support to Roku. You may soon be able to watch your Apple programming, your iTunes programs, your Apple's content, and through your Roku using the Apple AirPlay feature. I got YouTube TV and Philo and pay the standard sales tax. Yeah, it depends on where you live. You're going to pay sales tax or not. Some areas don't. There are some states and towns that don't charge a sales tax or a streaming tax. So keep that in mind. All right. Hey, we got about 10 minutes left. And ask your cord cutter related questions. I did post a link in the chat to our Facebook group. So we have a group called Cord Cutting Tech Support. And it does nothing. It's a group of people that do nothing but answer cord cutting related questions. It's almost 50,000. It's like 49,000 and change right now. Probably 50,000. It'll be 50,000 before the end of this month for sure. But if you have a cord cutting question, post it there and you're going to get all the answers you could ever want. It's a great group of real, just average day cord cutters. Some of the staff from Cord Cutters News is there answering your cord cutting related questions too. And it's a great spot to get your questions answered. Luke, will you cover the Apple TV event once it happens in March? Yes, we will be covering it live. There is a rumor that the new live TV streaming service will be there. Originally, it was reported just as a news service announcement, but now Bloomberg has reported that Apple has big name stars going to be there from the TV world, and that they will be announcing their new streaming service. So Cord Cutters News will be there. I'm not sure. In the previous times, I've done live streams during the event where we talk and chat as it streams on the thing or on our screen here, and we give you our commentary live as it happens. So maybe we'll do that again this time. I'm not sure. I have to kind of see how my schedule lines up too on it. Do new smart TVs have over-the-air local channels viewing capacity, or do you need a Roku Sling? So most TVs, Vizio's for a while dropped the tuner. Most TVs do offer a tuner built into the TV, so you just connect your antenna to the TV, scan for channels, and there you go. So yes, if you want to use an antenna, you don't necessarily need a Roku or Sling. But if you want to get them, like DirecTV Now, Hulu, PlayStation View, YouTube TV, etc., do offer in many areas most major locals. How do I get radio with OTA TV? You can always get Roku, download the Amazon or the Spotify or Pandora app, whatever, on multiple different devices. Question, will the new Hisense TVs have 3.0 built in them? Not this year. They have not announced 3.0 support this year. I think maybe next year we'll get it. We'll wait and see. The National Association of Broadcasters show, NAB, is this April. Last year, a lot of 3.0 news happened. Cord Cutters News will be at the NAB show. So if there's any 3.0 news, we'll do our best to cover it. Which TV is better, Roku or Fire TV? I think they're both great. It depends which one you like. I think Roku does have a lot of great options. The Roku's been around a little while, so a little bit more refined. If you want a higher end TV, definitely get the Roku. The lower end TVs are about the same between Fire TV and Roku. All right. Last call for questions, and then I'm going to wrap this up here. As always, if you're new here, please subscribe. Every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, we're answering your core card related questions. We do core card recap shows. We do how-to guides, reviews, and more, all here on our YouTube channel. Also, follow us over at cordcuttersnews.com, where we post every day, sometimes 10 or more stories all about the world of cord cutting. And there's always great coverage right there. So check it out, cordcuttersnews.com. Thank you, Tracy. I really appreciate the subscription. We're coming up on 52,000 already. I can't believe it. Here's to 100,000 by the end of 2019. Help us do it. Hit that subscribe button. Will you begin the 8K TCL TVs when they come out? I do intend to do a review of the 8K. I already have a first impression. I've already seen the 8K ones. If you click on our channel name, look at some of the past videos back in early January, we posted a first look. I wasn't able to do a real test of it, but I was able to do a first look of the new TCL 8 series. Was very, very happy with it. Is the HD Home Run a good solution? Yeah, it's not bad. I really am happy with them adding the fact there's a standalone box. Now you don't need to have a media server. Downside of the HD Home Run, still no dedicated Roku support. If you have a media center, you could use Plex to kind of get around that. But yeah, so I would just keep that in mind. Best coaxial cable for antenna? Honestly, if it's a relatively short, reasonable distance, if you're hundreds of feet, maybe qualities matter. But any decent coaxial cable for antenna should be fine. Do I answer comments in the question sections when live TV streams? Yes, I sometimes do. NYC, though, if you're on Facebook, I would go. I just posted a link again, a link to our Facebook group with almost 50,000 people in it right now. They do nothing but answer core card related questions. So my suggestion would be to head over to our Facebook group, post it there. But if you have a question, post it on this video after I'm done, and then probably tomorrow I'll try to swing back here in the morning and answer a bunch of questions once I get into the office. Do you ever think the Yes Network will have a Roku app? Could be. It is available on Roku through some streaming services. YouTube TV extends DVR recordings. Yeah, so YouTube TV for live events has started to extend DVR recordings. I have a full story about it over at cordcuttersnews.com. Luke, do you think anytime soon we will get a free Weather Channel in Chicago over there? Weather Nation probably will, maybe at some point in the future. You can right now on most streaming devices get Weather Nation 100% free on a Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, etc. What's the best app for live TV and movies for the Fire Stick? Depends on which one you want. DirecTV Now, Hulu, PlayStation View, etc. Check them out. Yeah, don't forget to hit the like button. It really does help us. And honestly, if you ever want to help a YouTuber you like but you don't want to donate, just hit the like button on some of their videos. It really does help them. All right. Hey, I think we're going to wrap this up. Again, every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here, I'm answering core card related questions. But thank you. I really want to say thank you to everybody. Can't believe we're almost at 52,000 subscribers already. Unbelievable. I couldn't believe about a year ago we really started focusing on a YouTube channel, and your response to it has been amazing, and I really appreciate it. Our goal here is to try to help you get the most from your TV experience without being stuck in a high expensive cable TV bill and long-term contracts. So hit that subscribe button. Hopefully we can help you. All right, everybody, I hope you have a fantastic day. No Life says you got on late. That's okay, No Life. Don't worry about it. If you missed it, we'll have this up on YouTube here in a minute. Join us next week. And as always, hey, special thanks to people who subscribe to our YouTube channel here. Thank you everybody who joins it, supports us with your donations. And thank you just everybody who visits the website, watches the videos. You know, when I started this, it was a hobby. I just can't believe the growth we've had. So thank you. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Take care, everybody. I will see you next week. Take care. And, hey, if you're up north where it's cold, stay warm, everybody. But I'm going to real quick hit an ad. You can hang around for the ad. It helps pay the bills. And then we'll exit out after that. But for everybody who is still here watching this, down in the lower corner, don't forget we now have a app for iOS, Android, and Amazon Fire devices, like their tablets. So check them out. There is a really a nice setup there. We've been adding features and updating it. So check out iOS and Android app. Link in the show notes if you want to download that. As soon as that commercial ends, we will X out of here. Fix that for the future. All right, everybody, take care. Be safe. Be warm. I'll see you next week.